Hey guys, it's Melanie, and today I want to do a review and a demo of the Smashbox Camera Ready BB Cream. And I got this as a sample in my Sephora, they're still having it, the 15% off sale. And the first day of the sale, VIB members got an extra tote with samples inside. So anyways, this was just one of my samples. This is in the color light. And I used this yesterday so I can actually tell you how it wears throughout the day. But I did want to record a demo portion of this as well while I talk about how it wore yesterday. So I'm probably using just a smidge too much, but in fact it was definitely too much. So this is what the consistency is. It's a pretty thick sort of creamy consistency. The color is spot on for me, so that was really good. I did apply this with my fingers yesterday, so and that worked out really well. So anyway, I'm just gonna get that on there, and I'm gonna wipe off the excess real quick here because I got a little bit too much. I could have probably had 3 applications just using this one thing, but I went a little bit overboard today. So I wore this all day yesterday, and I applied it with my fingers, and I put it on at roughly the same time as today, so around 11 in the morning. And I did not apply it over top my Milk of Magnesia primer, so I didn't have that step yesterday, which is my normal makeup primer. And I will start out by saying that my skin type is it's very oily, extremely oily. So the only oil controlling primer that I have found is that works for me is Milk of Magnesia, and I have several videos about it, so definitely look through my videos. I talk about it quite a bit. But this stuff was fantastic yesterday. I was really impressed because I have literally tried everything. And from Smashbox I have also tried the Photo Finish Light primer, and that's actually what I'm currently using in my professional kit. And it works well. In fact, it works on the majority of my clients. I use that as a primer for underneath my airbrush foundation. And what I am interested in is, instead of using the Photo Finish Light on my clients, is possibly adding in this. So just getting it in the different color options to be able to use on clients. Because what I'm currently doing in terms of sun protection for clients, I do a lot of bridal makeup, and a lot of my clients get married in the summer and they're outside. So right now I only apply a light layer of the Oil of Olay SPF 15 daytime lotion. So and it's just, it comes in the regular bottle. I'll link below what I'm talking about, but that's what I'm currently using. So it's only SPF 15, which really isn't enough, especially when clients are outside in the sun for an extended period of time taking pictures and for the actual wedding and the reception. So anyway, I'm looking to add something that has a higher SPF, and this actually has an SPF of 35, which I really like. This is supposed to prime, perfect, protect, hydrate, and control oil in one step, and it absolutely does that. So I'm going to show you guys now what the finish looks like on my skin and sort of give you my feedback on how it worked for my particular skin type. So as you can see, what it does is it really kind of evens out my skin tone. The coverage, I would say, is probably between a medium, a sheer and a medium. So it's not quite medium, but it's not super sheer. So the coverage is actually decent, especially for what I'm going to be using it for. It's perfect. This would just basically be my primer underneath my airbrush foundation. So it doesn't need to provide a lot of coverage, but I do like the fact that it evens out my skin tone a little bit before I even go over it with my regular foundation. The Color Match Light is a pretty good color match for me. Once I put my Sephora 8-Hour Wear Mattifying Compact Foundation over top, and I'll show you how that applies over, it's perfect. Like, this makes it like my perfect skin tone match. That really didn't come right, but you guys come out right, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I should probably not be making a video today because I'm a little scatterbrained, but I really wanted to get this up because this product was fantastic when I was wearing it yesterday. So I obviously haven't worn it for an extended period of time. This is only my second day, but I will say that it felt lightweight on my skin. It didn't feel heavy. I'm someone who hasn't worn liquid foundation in years because I don't like the way that it feels on my skin. So the fact that this felt good on my skin was excellent in my book because I really expected it to feel kind of gross and heavy, especially towards the end of the day. What I will say is that, so it's not 100% perfect, but I think it will be perfect for people who have, you know, normal to oily skin. For my super, super oily skin, it did sort of start to, like, break down towards around 8 in the evening. So I put it on at, like I said, 11 in the morning, and right around 8 o'clock is when I noticed that it started separating from my skin a little bit and not looking quite so good. But the oil control properties of it were actually really, really good. I was super impressed with that. The only place where I noticed my oil started to break through around like 5 in the evening was my forehead, which is usually like where I get my shiniest. I will also say that when I first apply it, it does have a tendency to, if I wrinkle my forehead too much before it sets, it wants to go into my like wrinkle lines on my forehead. So I did have to go back a couple times and sort of run my fingers over those lines and get the product back out of there until the BB cream really sort of set on my face. And I would say it takes about 10 minutes for it to really fully feel like it's dry and not like a little bit tacky on your skin. I did use it, as you saw, underneath my eyes. Didn't get any irritation from that. It was easy to take off. I used my Clarisonic and then my Neutrogena oil control face wash and came off very easily. I didn't feel like my pores were particularly clogged or like gross feeling at the end of the day. You know how sometimes when you're wearing a lot of makeup and you go to take it off and you're just like, oh, thank God, like my skin can breathe again. Like, I felt like my skin was really nice feeling throughout the day. It didn't feel heavy or cakey or cloggy. So when I took it off, like, you know, it just, I didn't feel like I had like a sense of relief because there was no relief to be had, if that makes any sense. So now that this has dried a little bit, I'm going to show you what it looks like with my particular foundation over top. And I use the Sephora 8-Hour Wear Mattifying Foundation. This is the color Vanilla. So because I don't need as much coverage, since I'm getting a little bit of coverage from that, I'm using a bigger, like, fluffy brush to apply this. Normally, I use my EcoTools Kabuki so that I get a little bit more coverage, but I don't necessarily need that since I already have the BB cream on. So I'm just going to apply a little bit all over my face. So just a light dusting. I do need just a little bit more coverage on my cheeks because they tend to get a little bit red. So when I go back, I sort of, instead of swiping and swirling, I pat the powder foundation on top of those areas. and that provides a little bit more coverage there. And then just over my nose. And then around my eye area, since that was kind of a bigger brush, I'm going to go back with a smaller brush and apply some of the powder underneath. And this particular powder is great because it doesn't look cakey underneath the eyes. So, all right, so that's it. So that is what the BB cream looks like underneath my particular foundation. You could obviously always use a different type of foundation underneath, or sorry, over top. So if you use liquid, use a liquid. If you use airbrush, use an airbrush. But like I said, I prefer powder foundations. So I feel like this gives me an awesome amount of coverage. My skin feels really good. It looks, it looks good. Like, I'm really, really impressed. And I really didn't necessarily have high hopes because I've tried other BB creams and they were just too, they just didn't provide any kind of oil control for me. And like, that's what I need. Like, I have very oily skin and I really need something that is actually going to help control that oil throughout the day. Like, I don't really need moisture. Like, I have plenty of oil in my skin. What I need is something to like prevent that oil from breaking through and then breaking down my makeup. So anyway, I love this. I think it's fantastic. I'm absolutely going to make this in addition to my professional kit, and we'll be using this on clients starting this summer. And yeah, I'm very, very happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. I think my next video will just be a get ready with me vlog. So if you want to see what I'm going to do with the rest of my makeup for today, I will link that video down below. So thanks a lot, and do let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, it's Melanie, and it is 5:30 in the evening, and I just wanted to show you what the Smashbox Camera Ready BB Cream looks like towards the end of my day. As you guys may remember from earlier in the video, I applied this at 11 in the morning and have just kind of been going around and just, you know, running some errands, and I went to the mall with Stella and we just sort of puttered around. So this is what my makeup looks like, and I'm going to get a little bit closer, so sorry if I scare you. But this is what it looks like on my skin after a few hours of wear. So huge, huge success in my book. My oil definitely started to come through just a little bit. So what I did is I just took like a piece of toilet paper, and I don't know if you can see, but you see that little bit of like oil and makeup on there. All I did was just blot my skin lightly to absorb some of that excess oil, and I didn't even have to powder, and I'm totally good to go again. So this will probably look this way until about 8:30 tonight, and then at that point it's going to be time for it to come off because my oil will have come through a little bit more and it's just going to start to look kind of bad. So what I will say is that, again, I'm going to reiterate that people with normal to combination to even oily skin, this would be a fantastic primer for you. It provides a decent amount of coverage. You can build that coverage just by putting a powder foundation over top, or even your regular foundation if you wanted to. But I don't even think that that's necessary for most people. You know, if you have some spots, just provide a little extra concealer there and you should be good to go. But this has an SPF of 35, so you've got sun protection in there. It definitely does feel like it has some moisturizing properties to it. I wouldn't say that, you know, someone with dry skin would get an adequate dose of moisture from this, but I think that it would definitely do its job for people with normal to combo to oily skin. People with super, super oily skin like me, I think that you're going to get several hours of wear out of this before things are going to kind of start to go downhill. But I would say that it is much improved upon any other makeup primer that I have used. I've used everything from primers from Benefit, from Urban Decay. I've used primers, other primers from Smashbox, Lorac, everything. Anything that says oil controlling, I have put it on my face and it has not worked. So this did a beautiful job. I love the fact that it has the other skincare benefits to it. So that's a huge bonus in my book. So I was so impressed with it. I decided to head to Sephora today, and I did pick up the light and the light medium to add to my professional kit. So I'm going to be using those on clients. I will say the light medium is pretty darn dark, and the medium is like more of like a tan, and like the dark, like dark. So I decided to start out with these two because honestly the majority of the clients that I work on are within the light to medium skin tone range. So I think that that's going to cover the majority of my clients. If I do happen to get a client that is super fair and we figure out at the trial that the light isn't light enough, I'll go pick up the fair. Or if I have somebody who needs like a deeper, darker shade, you know, and we find that out at the trial, I'll definitely go pick up the darker shade. But for the majority of my clients, I think I'm going to be fine with the light and the light medium. So I'm just going to stick with those for now. But just so excited about this product. I love it. Like I said, I can't tell you that if it's going to like make me break out if I use it on an ongoing basis. I didn't purchase one for myself because I'm just going to keep using my Milk of Magnesia primer. That is what works for me on a daily basis, and it lasts longer than what this does. But, you know, in the future, I may decide to invest in it, especially maybe during the summer when I need that SPF on my face if I'm working outside at weddings. So, anyway, I hope that you guys found this helpful and, you know, that you'll decide to try this. Definitely go to Sephora, get a sample of it. I mean, they give you some pretty generous samples. You could probably get 3 to 4 uses out of the samples that they give you, even if they just put like a little squirt of it into a little container for you. A little bit goes a long way with this. I used way too much this morning. I could have probably gotten actually not 1 but 2 more uses out of that little packet that I showed you at the beginning of the video. So I didn't realize how much was left in there when I squeezed out the remainder and put on probably a little bit too much this morning. So I wasted that product. But if I do ever want to try it again, I'll just go get another sample or I'll just go buy it. So anyway, again, if you guys have any questions, leave me a comment below, but I'm going to give this like 4 thumbs up because I think it's wonderful, especially for my particular skin type. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.